what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tristan. Today I'm back with another video here. Flyers lose 5-2 to the Washington Capitals. I'm not happy. This ruined my entire night. It's such a blown opportunity. It's such a blown game. It's a blown 2-0 lead. It's not good. Whatever happened in this one was not good. Now the Washington Capitals sit 4 points behind the Flyers. New Jersey plays tonight with a chance to move up to 3, and the Flyers just leave this one on the table after they led 2-0 after the first period. It's inexcusable. I mean, there's nothing you can say about this game that is good. Not one thing. I mean, genuinely, the first period doesn't mean shit because you blew the first two there. Just bad. I mean, you get a lead, Brink gets sat, and look, the lines in this one, they changed it in the third period. It was Farabee, Lawton, Forrester, Cates, Paling, Hathaway, Tippett, Frost, Brink, Delorier, Couturier, and Lixell. I don't know why. I'm not really the huge fan of Coots on the fourth line. He even got moved up to play higher in the third. He was with Frost and Tippett at one point. So defense was York, Sanheim, Sealer, Walker, Stalls, and Mulla. I think quite easily the two guys that have been talked about to be traded for the past 3 months, Sealer, Walker, were horrific. Paling wasn't good. And I think that the irony of the Brink chewing out is the fact that he has 2 goals in 2 games. He opens the scoring, Flyers get a power play. The game really settled down. Then they get another power play and they score 2-0. The setup that I talked about on Fourth Line Guys in our most recent episode, which is up if you want to check that out, by the way. I talked about having Tippett and putting guys in specific spots to use the skill that they have, and it worked. And unfortunately, they had a 2-0 lead. They only gave up 5 shots through about maybe 25 minutes or so into this game of game time. And second period, I mean, it not good. It just was not good. Let's just talk about it for a second. Ovechkin scores off of a face-off, a lost face-off, and no one picks him up. Milano scores off of a bad bounce, but still 2 guys are pretty much in the same spot. It's a weird play off of Walker. There was a turnover before that had Pacioretty have a breakaway from about maybe right at the top of the zone in. Urson made a big save. They score then right there, and they had momentum. Washington gets a power play. Flyers kill that off. I thought the Flyers at that point actually got a little bit of something. They killed that off, and they had a couple good shifts in the Caps' end, and then Carlson scored to make it 3-2. And it's like, what are we doing? Like, it's the point of the season where you cannot let things like this happen. It's an inexcusable period. It's an inexcusable loss. You needed at least a point out of this game, and you did not get it at all. And to not even just blow it, by losing, but to blow it by leading by 2-0 is not good, especially when you've been a pretty good team with the lead this year, and you also are a really good third period team. I mean, second periods have not been their friend recently. They did not have a good second period against Tampa Bay. They had a really good third, and they won that game. The second period against Pittsburgh was so-so, and then, the Rangers won as well. I mean, it was just... Second periods have not been their friend recently. The middle period hasn't been good, and unfortunately for the Flyers, it's a little bit different, I think, because in recent years, they always were playing catch-up, and it was games like this that they would lose playing catch-up to the Buffalo Sabres, the Edmonton Oilers, the Arizona Coyotes, whatever team at that time was the worst team in the NHL, beatable teams is my point, they would lose those games. But games against Pittsburgh, the Rangers, Washington, whoever was really good at the time, they would miraculously win, and that's why the team always was trying to play catch up all the time. And for this team, who has a little bit of a cushion on some of these other teams, Washington, Jersey, the Islanders, Pittsburgh, the difference now is you at least have a little bit of a cushion. You still have a 4-point cushion on the Capitals. You still have a 5-point cushion depending on what happens with the Devils, and then obviously the Islanders as well with 5 points for those 2 teams. So when you look at this, and it makes tomorrow night just as much important, because if you won this game and say they did lose tomorrow to Ottawa, you get 2 out of 4, okay. But now you have to win tomorrow. And it's the same thing. If they get 2 points, it doesn't make today look as bad because you bounced right back. And that's the best thing about back-to-backs when you lose the first one. Did you play right again the next day and you at least have a chance to come back? But, standings-wise, look, they have a little bit of a cushion. They play St. Louis on Monday, too. They're not the best team, and they're also a team that the Flyers did have a good game against. And it seems like Konechny's going to be coming back soon. Drysdale, Ristolainen could be out for the season or could be coming back. At some point, they're both going to be reevaluated, is what Danny Briere told the media at the end of the first period there. So, Konechny back, they said hopefully by Thursday. The earliest would be Monday. So, if it's Thursday, that's 6 more periods or so, that give or take, one of them goes to overtime, shootout, whatever, that you have to play without Konechny. You can get points out of those. These are 2 very winnable games coming up. Ottawa, St. Louis, they're both at home. They need to win tomorrow, and my guess is that Sandstrom is probably going to be in, but I don't know. I mean, honestly, I could see it being Urson again because it's a much more bigger game now. Could I see Felix getting St. Louis? Yes. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that will change now depending on that. My guess was that Urson was going to play. I said this on the pod. I said Urson was going to play tonight, and my guess was Sandstrom for tomorrow. That could change now. I don't know. I mean, I don't even think Urson was bad tonight. The Flyers were just really bad around him, and even the third period, like Strome has a chance early. LePerriere got stripped just before that. He had a good chance. The Flyers just felt like they didn't have a spark, and they went up 2-0. And they just never got it back. And I don't know what that was from. I guess not having a guy like Konechny is part of it. Like, you had some power plays. You had a power play goal. Mantha would score to make it 4-2. It was a failed clear behind the net. No one picked him up in tight. And then 5-2, Strome scored at the end of it there. I mean, everything else in between was pretty much garbage time. And it's not good. It's a bad loss. But I want to talk about the Brink thing. Because this is my gripe with Tortorella. Is the fact that a guy like Bobby Brink, who has 2 goals in 2 games and has given you a little bit of a spark of offense, gets chewed out on that. Everyone in the world has probably seen the clip already. And I understand the frustration behind it because, yes, Brink was in a bad spot. But so were the other 4 Flyers on the ice. I mean, let's be honest. 2 defensemen are on one side. Lixel stood there and didn't do anything. And Poehling was on the other side of the ice and didn't really make the best play either. So this is my gripe with Tortorella. If you're going to gripe out a rookie, then gripe out all of them. Because it has nothing to do with just Brink. Yes, could Brink have made a better effort on that play and got to Karlsson at the side of the net? Hell yeah. But so could the other 4 Flyers when Sealer and Walker are on the same side of the ice, who just gave up a goal before that, by the way. And again, like I said, Ryan Poehling is standing there in the middle of the ice. Like, it's not acceptable in a game where you have such a tight margin for points. And I get it. The Flyers aren't playing catch up. They have a little bit of the lead. But when you just hear tonight that you're going a couple more games without Konechny, and you're going a couple, could be for the end of the season, the next 21 games without Drysdale and Ristolainen, that's a pretty big hole, especially when you don't have a guy like Konechny. So you can't lose this game. You just can't. And they blow it. And 5 unanswered goals. And I look again and again. Like I said, I know Brink made not a great play, but he's a guy that's come in and given you offense. I think he's given you a little bit of a spark. I mean, who played good in that second period for Brink to get chewed out for it? Anyone? Because I don't have an answer for you. It was no one. So that's my gripe with Tortorella, and it's been my gripe with Tortorella for the entire season long, is he has favorites. He picks guys that get a longer leash. It happens. It's the guys that Tortorella likes, and I'll tell you them right now because it's not even, and it's clearly obvious just by watching the games, and this is with no inside information, whatever. This is literally just my thoughts on the matter. It's Cates, it's Tippett, it's Poehling, it's guys like Delorier, it's guys like Hathaway. It's the muck and grinder type of guys that have played in the league a long time, that are pros. It's none of the guys that have a ton of skill. Obviously I mentioned Tippett, but you get my point. It's all the muck and grinder type of guys that understand the way to be a pro and everything else. He doesn't like the small rookies, hence why Lixel and Brink didn't play in the third period. Atkinson, he has a really short leash with him this year. it's just different. And I get it, but Atkinson is the one example to the other 8 guys he's done it to this year that are the rookies, because he's done it with Zamula, he's done it with Frost, he's done it with I can't even think off the top of my head. It's happened before. Farabee, I'm sure, has gotten some of it. I mean, it's not good. And it frustrates me because it's not like Brink has come in and played bad. Yes, he made a bad play, but for him to get chewed out for the entire team looking pretty bad in the second period, and probably it's easily their worst loss of the season. It's to me, it's not fair. It's not a fair assessment to a guy who's come in and given you a little bit of a spark. So that's my thoughts on the matter. Thanks everybody again for all the support as always. My name is Chris. Always enjoy, doing these videos regardless of win or loss, and it's been fun this year. But it's nights like this where it's just like it drives me bananas. So again, thanks everybody again for all the support as always. Make sure to check out Maher Media and all the things that we do. We got a ton of stuff coming. We got some really cool stuff in the works. So stay tuned for that. I really do appreciate it. We also do have a trade deadline stream coming on Friday, March 8th. Me and my friend and co-founder of Maher Media, Paul Jackson, will be live from 11 to 3 is what we have. It'll probably be closer to 4:30ish. It should be a lot of fun. So thanks everybody again. Hopefully we see you then Friday. My name is Chris, and I'll talk to you all again soon.